Okay, thank you for joining our presentation today and for taking the time to learn more about DentalAce, the #1 and growing online platform for dental care. My name is Emil Nadev, and as one of the two co-founders of our company, I would like to spend the next, say, 35 to maybe 40 minutes at most to give you an overview of our platform and to specifically touch on how it can help you with mounting successful online marketing campaigns for your business, and also with effectively identifying and reaching out to exactly those online customer groups that you would like to reach out to. So in other words, we would like to target your marketing efforts as optimally as possible to make sure that you receive the best results that you can in terms of conversions, new partnerships formed, and in general business generated. Also, towards the end of the presentation, I would like to kindly invite you to reach out to us for more information if you desire, and also to hopefully join us as a partner going forward. So with that, a quick introduction about myself, just so you know who is talking to you. As I mentioned, my name is Emil Nadev, co-founded the company a couple of years ago, but the original idea for the platform came up in 2012 when I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out. And that was a lengthy and annoying experience simply because it took way too long, in my opinion, to look for an appointment that fit with my schedule and for the right price point for the procedure that I could afford. And since it took that long, it effectively forced me to go abroad to have it taken care of. So I went to Bulgaria and had the procedure done for a fraction of the cost that any local dentist quoted me. And so obviously that's a problem because I, as a patient, had to spend time, money, effort for the trip. And at the same time, local dentists lost a patient, at least for this one procedure. And to solve these problems very effectively and lastingly, we came up with the DentalAce platform, at first in prototype version in 2016 while I was at University of New York. And then in late 2018/early 2019, we finally launched the product that you see online today. And since then, we've gained quite a lot of traction and a couple of very solid and very active and very supportive members who on a daily basis receive multiple appointment bookings from dentist seeking patients and who thereby improve dental care locally. So in other words, we're delivering against our mission, getting good feedback, and looking forward to continued growth. And in terms of expanding our stakeholder reach in the dental care space, so we have also started working with other stakeholders besides dentists. So think dental labs, dental technicians, manufacturers, and sellers/resellers of dental care equipment, consumables, all sorts of consumer products in the dental care space, for example, toothbrushes, toothpaste, etc. And the goal is really to build a connection station for all of these stakeholders where they can more effectively, more quickly, and efficiently communicate with each other and eventually also transact with each other. So I'll touch on that in a little more detail later, but just to give you an overview of my person and the company and how it came to be and where we would like to go. So in terms of the presentation today, 3 points that I would like you to take away. #1, we're really here to help you with your customer acquisition effort. So whether your customer group consists of dentists or dentist seeking patients or basically, online individuals who are just looking for dental care products, we have the ability to target those groups effectively for you, and that way make it easier, faster, and also more cost effective to find them, engage with them, and hopefully start a business relationship with them. #2, profitability maximization. So we're very well aware that you and your businesses need a profit to exist and to grow. And so for that reason, we've optimized all of our offerings from a functionality and pricing perspective in a way that allows you to garner as much value as possible from your membership on DentalAce. And conversely, that also allows you to boost your profitability. So I'll touch again on this a little more later, but just know that we're very, very well aware of the profitability factor, and we, we'll work very hard on promoting that for you. #3, marketing. So as you know, nowadays with the more and more prolific online marketing footprint of especially newer businesses, virtually any and every business is shifting more and more resources towards online marketing, simply because that's where virtually any customer group now is being found. And as a result, many of our customers and potential customers have used at least one, if not more, online marketing platforms or social media platforms, such as, for example, Facebook and Instagram, etc. And those platforms are very effective. But if you would like to mount a really strong and high result online marketing campaign, you would have to look at a cost of up to 50 euros a day or more for a small or medium-sized business. And as I mentioned, for businesses of that size, that cost may be quite high, or maybe, those services may even be cost prohibitive. And that's why we offer you this service of mounting successful online campaigns for you as part of a subscription at a much lower price than if you were to do it yourselves. And the benefit there is we would take on the entire marketing effort for you. So we would save you time. And also, obviously, as I mentioned, since we would do the campaign building for you, that would also save you effort. And in terms of results, you can expect either the same or even better ones than if you were to do those efforts yourself. And again, at a lower price. So I'll touch also with more details on this later on, but just know that marketing and marketing cost reduction is one of our focal points as well. So first section, value add for you. So in this section, I would just like to give you a more detailed overview of our platform and our mission, as I promised earlier. And what you see here is a very simple depiction of what we actually want to create. And that is a connection station online for every single stakeholder within the dental care space. So for now, we focused on patients and dentists and on successfully and effectively putting them in touch and helping them essentially transact with each other in the form of appointment bookings and also in the form of discussing potential prices and price ranges for specific dental procedures on a very private one-to-one basis. And that is already online in our current platform and working quite well for over a year now. So this connection here we've established, and we will be adding additional functionality to it, but just know it already exists and is performing quite well in the market. Down here is where we really want to expand and where we started to expand already. So dentist partners, as we call it, includes really almost any organization that has to do with dental care in one way, shape, or form. So again, as I mentioned, dental labs and dental technicians, those are the first two customer groups or stakeholder groups that we've expanded our reach to. And we're working already with a couple of them, mainly on marketing efforts for now, but later on, as I mentioned, we'll move up the value chain and work on making the communication and transaction with their dentist customers easier and more effective. But then there are also other partner organizations that we're increasingly reaching out to and working with. So that includes, for example, manufacturers of dental care equipment, so all sorts of practice equipment for patient treatments, for practice interior, etc. Then also manufacturers of, as I mentioned, consumer goods in the dental care space, toothbrushes, toothpastes, etc. And finally, we also plan to work with all sorts of companies that work around recruiting for dental practices, because it's a very specialized field. And the idea is to allow our dentist subscribers or dentist members to more effectively find staffing, to have essentially a place where they can do it right away without lengthy online searches. So at this point, I'll end here because we're still developing those functions. And as they come online, we will give you continuous updates. And just know that as this happens, there will also be more marketing / advertising spaces coming available on our portal that we will run by you. So this presentation is really a depiction of how many ad spaces we have right now. And just know that in the future, we'll build out additional ones that we will keep you informed of. Now, really quickly, what do we do? Since this presentation is focused on marketing, what do we do for you in that, from that point of view? So the number one goal is to really effectively, clearly, and crisply communicate the message that you would like to communicate to the customer group that you would like to reach. So for example, if you are a dental technician or a dental lab, you're looking for dentist customers, we would place your advertisements in the most visited sections of our portal by our dentist subscribers. And also we would highlight, as it's said here, your company name, logo, contact information, and any other messages in our collateral to this customer group, as well as in any specific specialized portal sections that correspond with your specialty areas. So for example, if you focus on braces and medical devices in that area, then we would make sure that you're highlighted in the section on our portal that has to deal with braces specifically, so that dentists and dental care professionals that focus on those procedures will always find you, see your ad, and then ideally reach out. Now, I just gave the example with dental labs and technicians. The same logic holds true for all other potential customer groups and potential partners that we have. And the key goal of all of our marketing effort is really encapsulated here. So the number one is to make sure that you are positioned in a way that allows you to stay top of mind among your desired customer group. The other thing is, as a result of that kind of marketing, to allow you to build your ideal customer base. So in other words, you don't want to put advertisements online that generate potentially a lot of traffic, but most of that traffic is irrelevant to you. You really want to be placed in a portal, in an area in that portal that generates traffic to your ad, to your company, that really is interested in your offering and has a high likelihood of actually resulting in transactions and future partnerships. And that is what we specialize in for you, in short. Now, as you know, there are many other online portals. So sometimes we get the question, how are you different from those? And the number one thing before diving into this is actually that I would like to encourage you to think about this question a little differently, because the way I would look at this is as follows. Later on, we will go into specific ad pricing for specific positions in our portal. And the way I would look at this is, if you were to pick a certain combination of ad placements and then the corresponding pricing, the question that you should ask yourself is that investment worth it for you in DentalAce, yes or no? And that obviously depends on your assumptions and expectations of what you would like to get out of your membership with us. But once you calculate that for yourself on a standalone basis, if you come out net positive, then that's basically, in my opinion, the number one answer to the question of should you list with us or not. The secondary, or the next question that you can examine is, what about other platforms? So in terms of differentiation, we're the only platform that focuses on dental medicine exclusively and holistically. So again, everything within dental medicine, every specialty, subspecialty is listed and present in our portal, and we don't focus on other medical specialties at all. So it's just dental medicine right now. And that is clearly differentiated from the focus areas of other portals, because there's some with more narrow areas within dental care, and most of them are much broader. So you would have, for example, DocFinder or Arztsuche24, and those portals focus on every medical specialty out there, including dentistry. But again, all the traffic that goes to these portals, you would have to share with those other specialties. With us, all the traffic that we receive is going to be relevant to you. A related point is designated ad spaces. So as I mentioned, we focus only on dental medicine. And so all of our ad spaces are really for products and services that fall within that, area. So in other words, you wouldn't have to share ad space or ad time with, advertisements from companies that advertise services and products outside of dental care. So everything you would be able to, do through our platform is going to be, as I mentioned, relevant to your focus area and to your focus segment. In terms of how we would work together, really quickly, contract duration and contract, setting, if you will, we're very flexible there, and we would like to give you as much flexibility as well. So our contracts are very simple one-pagers, and we don't have any automatic extension periods, lock-in periods, or anything like that. So as an advertising partner, you can opt for either a 6-month option with us, a 12-month option, or if you'd like to go longer term, we could do, a custom agreement on a one-off basis. But like I said, it's just that simple. And at the end of whatever period you decide to subscribe for, you can then decide whether you want to stay on or not. So there won't be any, as I mentioned, lock-ins or other paragraphs that will keep you, engaged should you not want to remain engaged. Number two, pricing, same logic. prices are very transparent and include value-added tax. And essentially what you see is what you pay. And I'll go through prices in a little bit for each individual ad placement. But again, no hidden fees, no other extension fees or other pricing related surprises. Anything that you see on paper is exactly what you will end up paying. Now, technological, how can I say it? Technological prowess of the portal, let's call it that way. So we've made sure that it is optimized for every single device that has a screen. I put it simply like that because there are a myriad of smartphone types out there, tablets, computers, etc. So we work on all of them, and you can be sure that should you list with us and put your ad on our platform, that it will be displayed optimally on all of those devices. So we're very cognizant of the fact that technologically it's always evolving, and we're in lockstep with that technological development to make sure that all of our content and our partners' content is always displayed in the best possible way. And the last thing I want to touch on is performance statistics. So that really goes to the point of transparency, and we are really big on having our members and partners know what they're exactly getting out of working with us. And at the end of every month, we would send you fairly simple statistics actually, but ones that will let you gauge how successful your membership really is. So you would know, for example, how many clicks your banner ad received, and then later on, as we build out more and more statistics, you would also know who exactly from our portal clicked on it. So for example, if one or several dentists from a dentist list ended up being interested in your banner and clicking on it, you would know about it, and then you could reach out to those dentists and basically follow up, and hopefully that will result in successful partnerships. So again, we would like to provide you as much transparency as possible, and also to give you enough data that will make your follow-on outreach to potential customers as targeted as possible. And that's also included in the subscription. All right, last point in terms of relative market positioning and potential comparator portals. So the green box here with the green dotted line symbolizes the relevant online search volume / target market for every type of organization within the dental care space. So it encompasses patients looking for dentists, dentists looking for skilled dental technicians or dental labs for services. It encompasses dentists looking for staffing agencies to get new highly skilled staff, et cetera, et cetera. So everything within the dental care segment in terms of search volume is in this green box. And as you can see, the DentalAce box, the blue one, covers most of that space. And what we want to say by that is that we optimize our online presence through targeted content, search engine optimization efforts, and also targeted SEA or search engine advertisement campaigns to make sure that we capture a vast majority of that relevant search volume for you. So as I mentioned before, if you go to the upper left corner, you have portals listed that are more, older, more established, and have, admittedly way more traffic than we do on a monthly basis. But like I said, only a sliver of that traffic will really be interested in dental care / dental medicine. And I would say that a lot of that traffic that's relevant to you, we would cover as well. So there's going to be a little overlap. On the other end of the spectrum, portals that are more specialized within dental care, so specific subspecialties that they target, for example, braces, or maybe everything around implantology, etc. So there may be some others out there that I'm not even aware of. But the idea here is the same. Since we optimize for everything within dental care, for every subspecialty, we would capture the largest part of that search volume too. And so the takeaway from this slide is really, twofold. Number one, if you want to really optimize your digital footprint and capture as much of the relevant search volume for you as possible, you can list on multiple platforms. You can list on DentalAce, and then you could list on, several larger ones here, some more specialized here, and that way your coverage would be as holistic as possible. And we do have some members who also cross-list, for example, on DocFinder, and it seems to be working quite well for them, works well for us. And like I said, should you want to do that, that is not a problem at all. On the other hand, though, if you would really like to pick one platform that services essentially the specific target market that you're looking for, then I would like to encourage you to consider DentalAce within the space of dental care as the number one point of, contact and advertising for you. And I'll go into more detail as to why shortly. But like I said, with this slide, I would like to give you a visual depiction as to how we see ourselves positioned in the market and how we see ourselves, again, relative to other portals, to answer the question as to what's different. So this is basically one main difference also, the target market positioning and the targeting of online search volume that's relevant to you. Now, advantages and results. So I talked a lot about what we can offer you, and I talked a lot about statistics and that we're big on those. So let's deliver against that. In terms of market of in the dental care space, in terms of dentists, there are about 1,500 dentists practicing in the Vienna area. And right now our communication network includes about 600 of them. And what we mean by that is those 600 dentists receive communications from us at least twice a month. So basically we send out a newsletter twice a month, and then from time to time update about, say, new portal functions or, new specialized content. And whenever that goes out, all of these, this dentist group receives it. As you can see, we've grown our reach quite a bit since we launched in January 2019. So we started with about 50, and it's grown every 2-quarter periods afterwards. And the growth has also been increasing in rate. And that is why we are looking to add as many, if not all, of the remaining 900 dentists in the Vienna area as soon as possible. So as of September 2020, we're at about 600. And if you ask me next month or maybe in 3 months, the number will be quite a bit higher for sure. Now, in terms of results, so this is really targeted towards dentist customers and dentist partners. So what you see here is the basically success statistic from all of our long-term members. So about 10 of our members who have been with us for 12 months or longer. And what you can see here is that over the first 12 months, each of them gained over 100 new patients through online appointment bookings. And that is simply from listing on our portal, and that is simply the very tangible benefit that they received. Now, what that does not include is, again, the expansion of their digital footprint and of their recognizability, if you will, because all of the ads that we put online through our social media channels of our platform, but also of our partner dentists specifically and individually, those are seen by a lot of patients. And many of them don't book immediately, but they may come back in 1, 2, 3, 6 months. And then all of that will be the result of the ongoing consistent marketing efforts. So in other words, 100 patients in year 1 is really just a tangible benefit. There's also a lot of intangible benefit that cannot be as easily quantified, but that is there nonetheless. And what I would like to touch here on is, at first you get a free test period during which we set up your dentist profile with pictures, ideal practice pictures to, put you on the map as, visibly and ideally as possible. We also devise a very crisp and effective practice text with which you can essentially say hello to new patients and explain to them what your specialty areas are. And then once your profile is complete, we start marketing you online. And as you can see, at first you have a ramp up period right here. So during the free months, you can expect relatively fewer bookings, so maybe 2 to 4 per month, while your profile gains traction. And then in the following months, the number of monthly bookings grows and then continuously grows further. And what I can say is that some of our long-term members who have been with us for over 12 months, they easily get 12, 15 or more new bookings every single month. So in other words, you're looking at about 100 new patients in year 1. In year 2, you wouldn't have the ramp up period. So the number of new patients in year 2 would be significantly higher. Really quickly to touch on growth as well, I'll just fly through the slide, but as I mentioned, we're growing the visitor number to our platform consistently and very selectively. So it's not just traffic maximization for the sake of traffic, but it is really targeted, focused maximization of traffic. So we want to make sure that only the folks who are really interested in your services come to your portal or come to our portal, because those are really the folks that will lead to business and conversions for you. At the same time, really quick on member growth. So again, we just started off relatively recently, but in terms of growth, the numbers, at least, in my opinion, look pretty good. So on an annualized basis, several 100%, on a monthly basis, over 60%. And we're really happy that, we're receiving quite solid traction within our target customer groups, and their current customers are quite happy with the offering that we provide. Last thing, marketing. So I talked a lot about marketing, but what exactly do we do? Number one, we, as I mentioned, are present on every one of the major social media channels. So think Facebook, Instagram, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, Xing, etc. So among the top 5 to 10 online social media channels, we've established a strong presence on all of them, and we've managed to attract quite a lot of buzz and a relatively large and growing followings on each of them. And we post on a daily basis, at least once, if not several times, and several different types of ads as well. So there's some about our portal in general to generate traffic overall. There's some about specific partner organizations, so be those dentists or dental labs, and those generate traffic also to our portal, but specifically to the profiles of our members. And then there's some ads that relate to some of the content that we put out. And later on, you can also see that we're happy to partner on content with you as well. Then we have some other ad types. So online banners, pretty standard, and billboards that you can see in the in some stations of the Viennese subway. So you can go to the U4 station on Schwedenplatz to see some of our live banners. And then we have some press partnerships as well. So for example, Report, Bezirkszeitung, Nextdoc, and several others have been, gracious enough to work with us on articles about our portal. And obviously their readership, once they read those articles, may get interested in our platform and visit it as well. Last point, we've reached out to some interest groups also in the dental care field. So for example, the Österreichische Zahnärztekammer. And the goal is over time to establish, a partnership with them as well, simply because we do believe that the services that we provide are quite additive and quite complementary with the purpose of these organizations, and that we can provide quite a lot of additional value of their members as well. So over time, we hope to establish those partnerships, and we've already started working effectively towards that goal. And for now, we see this more as a secondary channel, but nevertheless is a high priority one. So as I mentioned, we'll keep you abreast about new ad strategies over time, but this basically encapsulates what we would do for you as part of a DentalAce partnership in terms of online marketing. Okay, now ad spaces and campaigns. So more specifically, what do those look like? What ad spaces do we have? And then how much do they cost? And how can you avail yourself of a position/listing? So first of all, we're looking at the channels that we have. There are really three. So one is the public sections of our site. Here you have basically the landing pages, you have the blog, you have the dentist list, etc. And what I mean by that is, so those are the parts of the website that are accessible by anybody. So if they come on our portal, they can browse through these pages. And if you place your ads on those pages, then obviously they will be found by all of these visitors, and conversely by the largest amount of visitors. Now, a lot of these visitors will be patients who are looking for either information about dental care or for appointments with dentists more specifically. So if you would like to cater to individuals, for example, via selling certain consumer products, then those would be the prioritized sections for you. Conversely, if you're looking to develop relationships with dentists, there's the private dentist section. And that is really, a couple of pages on our portal that is only accessible to dentist members who have an account. And the good thing about that is those members spend really the most time and are the most focused when they look at that section, because as I will go through in a second, that essentially determines their success on our platform. And we have developed and made available spaces that are quite prominently displayed in those sections that, again, you can place your ad in, and that way you can make sure that whenever our dentist members log in, that they would see you front and center. The last thing I would like to mention is mobile. So everything's going mobile nowadays. Smartphones, tablets, devices are getting more and more portable, more and more powerful. And we are also aware of the fact that a vast majority actually of our traffic is coming in through mobile devices. And so we've made sure that all of our ad spaces are either perfectly and seamlessly integrated in our content, or that they're placed in ways that are completely and fully compatible with mobile devices. And I'll show you some examples shortly, but just know that we're very cognizant of the move towards mobile and that our ad spaces and ad space placements reflect that. All right, quick overview of the public pages. So this is the public section that I referred to. That includes the landing pages, dentist list, blog main page, and blog article pages. And as you can see here, signified or highlighted in yellow. So these are the ad spaces that we offer. And over time, as I mentioned, we'll build some more in here or into the platform. But for now, these are the ones we have. And in terms of benefits, as I mentioned, the highest visitor count, because almost every visitor to our site goes through at least one of the landing pages, and the dentist list blog is also read quite well. And so that is why, if you were looking for the maximum amount of traffic and you're selling products that cater not just to, for example, dentists or a smaller group within the dental care space, but literally to almost any individual, then this will be the place to list for you. However, if you want to be more specialized and target a specific group, we would look at it as a main/add-on channel to our other two more focused ad channels. And speaking of those, let me cover the first one. That's the private dentist area. So as I mentioned, if you're looking for dentists as customers, this is really the place for you. So essentially, pages like the calendar page for a dentist subscriber, the messaging section, the upcoming appointment overview section, and the patient portal where they can invite patients into their practice. Those are really the most frequently visited pages, and dentists also spend the most time on those, because on the calendar page, for example, this is where a dentist puts in available appointments. And, if a dentist subscribes with us and lists on our portal, then they will make sure that their calendar is always up to date. So chances are they'll spend quite a lot of time on doing that over the week and log in at least several times per week. And that is why we've made sure to place these in yellow signified ad spaces front and center on those pages, so that our member dentists see them right away when they log in. And again, if you're looking for dentists as customers, then this should really be a main channel for your ad campaign, in addition to others. But like I said, the main focus should be here. Now, we also have monthly newsletters, as I mentioned, and those we send out twice a month. We have a short intro message up top usually, followed by a content section, and then followed by a partner section. So should you work with us, we would have your logo and company details down here in the partner section, no matter what. So that we would do anyway. And then we also have the opportunity to partner with you on content pieces. And I'll go into more detail shortly, but that would also be available in the newsletter and featured to our readership, which, as I mentioned, includes about 600 plus dentists right now and actually over 10,000 patients, and grows every month. So like I said, this is also included as part of your partnership with us, and it's a main channel for your ad campaign, simply because you would get a lot of eyeballs consistently several times a month onto, at the very least, your company name and information down here. Mobile, I'll touch on that briefly, since I mentioned we're optimized for all mobile devices in terms of specific ad placements. So we have some ad spaces that are mobile only, just like this little pop-up that's collapsible with this little flap here. And also we have embedded ads in between blog posts or integrated into blog posts and other content areas, which again, as I mentioned, is designed to display you as effectively and seamlessly as possible to readers. So in other words, you would, garner attention, and at the same time, the display would be as focused and as seamless as possible to make sure that, it gathers positive buzz and it doesn't appear as a, almost like as an element that, distracts the content. So we're very cognizant of putting it in the most elegant way that, again, ideally leads to the maximum amount of conversions for you. Now, I talked about content and publications. So we're happy to partner with you on those. And what we have done in the past is, as you can see in our blog, we have many different sections and many different blog post types. So it can be a content piece about, a specific new scientific approach. Should you have done some research into an area that you would like to showcase? It could be an overview of, a certain new product or product range that you would like to offer. So basically, we're pretty flexible on topic, and we do have different categories in our blog that would accommodate all sorts of different topics. In terms of display, it would be displayed in the place of one of our standard blog posts. So if you go on our website and click on the blog sections, you can see how our blog posts are usually displayed, and your article would pop up right there. As I mentioned, it would also be featured in our newsletters, just like right here. So essentially in the middle section of each newsletter. And then we would also have it visible in the thumbnail section on the side of our blog. And what we could also do is, have a dedicated social media posting about the actual article, just to alert our, not just dentist stakeholder group, but also our patient and individual stakeholder group that, hey, this new content piece is available, come take a look. Okay, in terms of placements, so the previous pages looked at where those placements are. Now, this explains a little further for which format each placement is optimized and what the pricing is. And so before I delve into this, 2 key points. Number one, as I mentioned, depending on your desired customer group, one or more of these sections may be relevant for you. This one is if you're really looking for dentist customers. The top one is if your customer group is a little broader and includes consumers. So for example, if you're selling, as I mentioned, different dental care products like toothpaste, toothbrushes, etc., then the public sections would probably be your number one go-to. Potentially the dentist sections too, but like I said, the most eyeballs you would get in these sections. And again, once you select the right section for yourself based on your target customer group, in our partnership contract, you would just simply have a copy of this table, and you could place check marks next to the positionings that you're interested in. And then we could optimize your banner size, as mentioned here, place it online, and get started. What you will also get, in addition to what I've mentioned in terms of spacing, your partnership also includes mentions in some of our social media ads that comes in the form of a ribbon with your company logo and name. And upon request, I'm happy to share an example via email. And also it comes with inclusion in our newsletters. So as I mentioned, your logo and company name would be included in the partner section of our newsletter. So that's part of, any of these positions. And the last thing I would like to mention is we're continuously expanding the platform. And as we do that, more and more ad spaces will become available. So every time that happens, we'll give you a heads up. And maybe, you'd be interested in either expanding your listings or swapping some out, but we will be very transparent whenever something new comes online. And the last thing is really related to benefit/value calculation. And so here we've put together what we call value calculators. For now, they're in Excel format, but later on they will be more intuitive, hopefully, and with better UX. And the idea here is, in these calculators, they allow you to select whichever ad positions you're interested in. It will add up the cost of those positions, and then it will allow you to put in your own assumptions. For example, number of new, customers or contracts generated each month, then the estimated value of each contract, etc. And then based on your own assumptions, you could estimate the payoff or the benefit that you would expect from listing with us. And then the calculator would automatically deduct the pricing and show you the net benefit that you can see. And this would really allow you to, estimate how much financially you could expect of a benefit from listing with us before, entering into a contract. So it's not a must, but it is a recommendation because we have these tools available. And again, it's a very simple calculation. And once you go through it, you would go into any relationship with us with more information, and at least you would know what you expect, and you would check your assumptions against, like I said, against what you can expect. So with that, let me cover next steps. So for more information, we're always available via phone, and the numbers are listed here, or via email. You could also use the contact form on our website, and we'll make sure to respond within 24 hours. And always happy to hop on the phone, Zoom, Skype, discuss some more details if you have additional questions, or share some more collateral. For example, this presentation I'm happy to share via email, or it is also available in our blog section on our website. And like I said, we thank you for your time, for listening through this video. I hope it was interesting for you and we've answered most, if not all, of your questions. And should you decide to, reach out to us, we'll be happy to welcome you to our portal, hopefully as a member soon. And so until then, thanks again for your attention, and all the best.